So when she does it, you're just toxic, it's just sexist. I'm like, oh, bro, do you no dog in this race? Because I hate Hulk and Deadpool, so she Hulk and Deadpool, so I'm just here. I'm at popcorn in the hand, just going through the comments, dying of laughter. Because anyone who knows me knows I hate anything Hulk related. I don't care if it's a bitch Hulk. I don't care if it's a red Hulk. I don't care if it's Abomination. Concept don't move me. Nothing about it that I like.
That top boy.
What was the Asian one that was the biggest troll ever? Big scope. I should probably. All right, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome to episode 12 of Views from the Watchtower, the podcast that I clearly just do whatever the hell I feel like doing it. Joined by Simi and Glam, say hi to the people.
Hello. I'm the kind of co-host. And Ting.
And I'm just here.
And he's black.
I absolutely am black.
He can't co-host.
Only on Black History Month would it work. Any other month doesn't work. But sub Chief, sub Archer. So yeah, I got a lot to say. Some good, some bad, some a little bit in the middle. But we're gonna start with that Miles Morales game. I'm not even gonna waste anyone's time with a bunch of preamble. We're gonna talk about Insomniacs, not Marvels. Insomniacs. Miles Morales. That's not a good game, brothers and sisters and friends. That game is ass. And I'm not talking about the fact that it's a whatever expansion, DLC, mid-cool. I don't care about none of that. I'm not talking about the price. I'm talking about the literal game and playing it and having to experience it. That shit is not fun. Now, I don't know if I'm just kind of out the loop because I haven't really played too many AAA games like this in a long time. I guess the last one would be what? Zelda, maybe? Am I missing anything?
You played Wonder, so that technically counts.
Yeah, I guess.
Is DRUGES a AAA game?
I mean, in like the very literal sense, but you know what I mean though. Like it's a platformer. Like that's whatever. But I really mean like
Yeah, I would say freaking
like like
Tears of the Younger
yeah,
is
like
the last
like
one
a
I
Tears
could
of the
think.
Younger.
like a narrative driven type of, I don't know, single player experience. But anyways, yeah,
Yeah, Beers of the Bingdom.
yeah. But man, I had fun with this game. And I didn't like, and I was kind of shocked because like I actually really liked the first Insomniac Spider-Man game. My favorite game is still Shattered Dimensions. If you don't know that, I'm not telling you it's the best or it's better than whatever. That's just personally my favorite my favorite Spider-Man game. I actually have a PS3 copy of Web of Shadows now because my boy lent me one, so I can actually play that like pretty soon. So I'll let you know about Web of Shadows. That's the one that most people seem to say is their favorite. Um, what's
Which
your guys' favorite Spider-Man
actually,
game?
that's actually funny that you say that because I mean, at least from my memories, people say that Ultimate Spider-Man is the best one.
Interesting.
Spider-Man 2, the movie game, is my favorite. Although I have a very soft spot for a piece of mid known as Spider-Man Friend or Foe.
Okay.
So for me, that's actually kind of tough, but cause I have just played so like just random ones here and there, but honestly, I think funny enough, I think it's the first Spider-Man 1 Treyarch is my favorite. Yes, I know you swing from clouds. Yes, I know you can't go on the fucking floor. Yes, I know. But just as Glam has a soft spot for friend or foe, I have a very big soft spot for this game because my mom got me this game right after I saw the movie, and it was one of the things that kept me comfort when my sister was off to college and I was home by myself. And that the game was just legitimately fucking funny, like both intentionally and unintentionally. I just had a lot of fucking fun with it.
I'm gonna
Net.
die.
I can't wait to play that on stream.
That
I
shit
can't
though
wait
is
to play
so
that on
funny.
stream.
Cause like you kind of like it's one of those things like you can't even. I feel like you have to fail it once for the meme, just to
Yeah.
see it
True.
one time. I'm gonna die. He just fucking splats on the ground. That's just so funny to me.
Yeah, shit.
But but yeah, okay. So credit where credit is due, right? I actually like Aaron Davis's role here. Now I don't think it was perfect, but I find it so hilarious because if I remember correctly, Bendis is the person who created Miles in Ultimate Universe. Every
Yes.
origin story that I've seen from Miles has been completely better than what he does. Because his dad's just an asshole cop. I'm a fucking cop. I just do cop things. You're a vigilante. Like, like Aaron Davis is just evil. I'm the prowler. Like, but with the other ones that I've seen, they've given them more of a family dynamic, and things are just more complicated than simply right or wrong, black and white, whatever, whatever. So in this version, Aaron Davis is the prowler and stuff, but he ended up telling Miles' dad and stuff, but in him doing the right thing, he completely lost his family, ended up alone to the point that he's trying to work an honest job and give up the prowler. And I'm like, okay, I kind of like that. He's trying to not let the relationship that he has with Miles go the exact same way it went with Jefferson Davis. Respect that. That shit is good. Rio, Rio is really good too. Oh, wait. That hold on. I gotta. Can I play the beat they made? That so one mission with Aaron because Aaron. The thing you do with Aaron in this game instead of like Into the Spider Verse is not graffiti. It's music. You made the. That nigga made the worst beat of all time, bro. Shit was so ass. Um, so basically, it's called Sounds of the City or something like that.
Haven't people guessed that shit up? I feel like people made like
No, I think
tracks
they,
of that.
I think they meme it because when
Oh,
I look up on YouTube, they be memeing it, but it's just so bad, bro. Like it's like the Sounds of the City, fucking seagulls and goddamn the train tracks, what's the MTR? What is it called to me? The fucking
MTA.
MTA, like just hold on, let's do this shit, bro. turn that off. It's fucking noise. Shit is trash. Oh man, that shit made me laugh though. 'Cause I said, "Ain't no way you made me work this hard for this shitty ass fucking beat." Anywho, that was good. I have no problem with reinventing characters or switching things around because, like I always say, the multiverse is a thing. If you're making your own self-contained universe, I want you to take personal liberties. I don't want you to copy everything that came before you. So the Tinkerer is usually like a C-list villain. He's just an old man. He builds some shit, whatever, whatever. But this time with the programmable matter and everything, we made it Finn Mason, which is Miles's like best friend from like middle school or whatever. This bitch is the worst fucking character I ever seen in a long time, bro. Oh my gosh, she's awful. The game tries so hard to justify that, like, to like justify her actions and make it seem that like Miles not like telling her, like, quote unquote, not telling her the truth is what, like, bro, it's just so fucking contrived and bad. And Miles just takes it, and I just can't. Like, I'm like, I can't do this. Like, can he fight back, nigga? Like, tell this bitch to shut up. Like, and like, maybe I'm used to this stuff in the superhero or whatever, and I don't need the emotional mumbo jumbo shit all the goddamn time. But it just felt so forced to me, like very forced. So, long story short, you reconnect with Finn, and then you find out by accident she's a tinkerer, and then you basically lie to her to join her underground because you learn what happened to her brother Rick Mason. I think Rick Mason, by the way, if I made this game, I would have made Rick Mason survive the new form explosion, and I would have made him the tinkerer. But that's because I'm actually a competent writer. Anyways, so she basically is like, "Oh, they killed my brother. Roxxon's a bad company. I'm going to use this thing to explode Roxxon Plaza." But the super evil CEO Simon Krieger or whatever, this is just he's just the prototypical millennial shallow bad capitalist CEO nigga. Like, he's so charming in person, and by himself he's like, ah! I'm like, bro, this is the worst villain ever. Like, this is just like shitty Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn is actually one of the things I'm gonna pray. I like this version of Norman Osborn who really cares about Harry. We'll get to Spider-Man 2 though. Stick to this game. Finn's design is awful. I think she's based off the actor that's voice playing her. By the way, I learned that the reason they changed Peter's look is to reflect Yuri Lowenthal. I can't remember the last name unless I see
Well,
it.
initially they changed it in the first game to reflect Tom Holland. Then
Oh,
they
word?
changed it again. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Thought I'd read
he
that they
looked
changed
like
it to.
Yuri at first.
Mhm.
Then they changed it to Tom Holland because the MCU got so popular.
I didn't remember it that well, so what I was gonna say is this: I actually understand people's gripe with the original design being changed. I think the first one fits better because he looks exhausted. Spider-Man does not get time to rest and sleep like that, and I felt like that version of him looked a little more exhausted. Like, nigga, I had like 2 hours of sleep. I just fought the goddamn rhino. Like, and I gotta go to school. I gotta go do this and whatnot. So yeah, the show gave me similar vibes to the Captain America Winter Soldier show. They try real hard to make terrorists seem sympathetic. Yeah, yeah, I feel you. Miles' story was made. It was short and fine, so I don't mind that much. But Spider-Man 2, we get to it. That game wasn't it. I don't think both. I think they only really hit the nail with the hammer with the first game. But I think Spider-Man 2 has a lot more redeeming things about it than Miles. But anyway, let me finish with Finn, right? So, anyways, um, at one point when you're fighting Finn, you reveal that you're Miles, and that she's basically mad at you for lying to her. It's literally the Amber gimmick from the show, where it's like, or like even Lois from My Adventure with Superman, where it's unreasonable levels of over stubbornness over something that makes sense. Like, yo, people want me dead, and if they can't get to me, they'll try to get to people that know me. I'm do this to protect y'all, and they're just fucking unreasonable bitches about it. I can't stand this gimmick they keep doing with these women. Stop, fucking stop it. Anyways, Miles is trying to warn her that he fucking changed up the formula. So if you go with this, it's gonna blow up Harlem, not just the plaza. She not listening. And the game does over contrive shit to make her not listen because what he's saying is completely sensible if you really think about it. The curse on Lana Lang, yeah, I felt that. But anyways, So you never get through to her, by the way. You fight, you blah blah blah. You never get through to her until she literally is seeing it happening in real time. And then she's like, "Oh no, Miles, what do we do?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, I'll throw you into that fucking explosion." That's what I wanted to do. So Miles tries to absorb it to save his life, and then basically she puts her programmable matter on her leg to shoot them up into the sky. And she's like, "Miles, let go." Then you let go and she dies. Best part of the game is that I got to fucking kill her. So I'm like, "Oh, let go right now. Let go. Die." You and your brother see each other in hell. Like, I fucking hate you. I can't stand you. You are the worst part of this game because you didn't make this believable. Like, I just like having to fight her was awful. The Aaron Davis fight, the Prowler fight, was fucking gas. That nigga had holograms. He had his own camouflage tech. And he's basically on his Hitagi Senjo Gahara gimmick from Monogatari. He's trying to protect you because as the Prowler, he's seen the dark underbelly of New York. He knows how the Wilson Fisks and the Simon Kriegers of the world kind of move. It's not only about him protecting himself physically, but those guys can get to his family, his mom, and whoop de whoop. So he's trying to keep Miles in a safe location trapped so that he doesn't go and fight it. I actually like this. I think it works. It could have been better, but I think it works. And to me, the Aaron Davis stuff and the family stuff related to Miles was the best part of the game. Um, Simi knows this because he had to hear me bitch about it. I think because the game is so short or whatever, the crutch that they lean on is throwing an absurd amount of enemies at you. Simi Sami got mind broke on the call. I just started laughing, bro. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. I can't. I started laughing, like, bro, I can't do this. I'm tired of fighting. I hate this. I'm turning it off. And I went to bed. I I finished the game the next morning. Like the combat in this game is not as fun as the first one in my opinion because I like the gadgets that I had and I like that the different suits had different powers and abilities or whatever. Though I think the swing actually I don't know if the swing is better. I haven't played it. I haven't played them back to back recently enough to tell you which one's better. But I like that you could do tricks. I don't know if you could do tricks in the first one, but you can in this one. But yeah, I don't think Miles Morales game was a good 6 out of 10. I like the family related stuff with Rio and Aaron Davis, but aside from that, not a fan of it. None of the side quests really moved me. I guess the stuff with the time capsules was fine because you get some interesting tidbits of lore and whatever, but I just didn't like it. I just don't. I regret buying it. I regret playing it. I wish I bought Guardians instead. I don't know if you guys want to chime in and add anything there. I know you guys didn't really play it, I guess, but anything you want to say?
I got nothing.
Hey, it just as I told you off screen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna say it again on screen, just so there's evidence and proof of what the fuck I'm about to say. It's just another classic example of Sony being the idiots that they are. They come out with one game and it sells like hotcakes, and they're like, huh, this is sound like hotcakes. Let me hurry up and make another one. And the second they make another one, the shit do not sell like hotcakes. Then they like, damn, maybe this shit ass, and they never make it again. We saw it with freaking God of War. God of War came out. Whoop the fucking do. Look, we humanized Kratos. Fucking we did a coming of age story with Kratos. Ba 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 ba. Oh my god, the game is all in one cut. Whatever that means. Come out with Ragnarok. Nobody bought that shit. They hated it. Same thing with fucking this one. Yo, Spider-Man come out. We haven't had a real proper Spider-Man game since freaking Web of Shadows. Da 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 da. Pa 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 pa. Sell like hotcakes. All right, let's hurry up and make another one. Drop the standalone expansion. Nobody likes it. They keep doing this shit. They keep doing this shit. I can even argue for freaking Horizon Zero Dawn too. Horizon Zero Dawn sold like at least 1 million plus copies. Then it came out as a sequel. Nobody bought it. It's
Last of Us 2 had the same reaction, but not from sales, but from fan perception.
yeah. Oh boy, howdy. That was a
Yeah.
real shit show. But let's try to stay on topic. Let's try to stay on topic. Freaking it Miles Morales just sounds like everything in a Sony game, but not even compressed. Just just overflowed, but only within like a 7 or 8 hour time frame.
Did it
What
have like ungodly amounts of dialogue in it too? Nah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Sony, this is the one my main gripe with Sony. They don't shut the fuck up in any of them, bro.
I remember the first time. What game was I playing with Carnage? And for the first time, I'm like, yo, Spider Man is not cracking no jokes. He's not talking. Thank you. Shut up, nigga. Like, y'all talk so damn much. Yeah. This game hates the idea that you have to swing in silence or swing to the fucking sounds of the city. Doom, doom, da, doom,
All,
me. Like, bro, shut
all
up.
Sony,
There's a
all Sony games
podcast
do
in
that
my
now.
ear every time or somebody calling me. Like, leave me alone.
All Sony games do that now, though, because people don't. It's a meme, but it's also not. They want their games to be TV shows so badly that they have the characters talk constantly. That's what they want. It's the cinematic fucking game meme, but like taken to the nth degree. They don't shut up.
I do want to go here, but hold on a second. Yeah, I think the game overcompensated with Miles having AoE moves, so they just dump enemies at you, or they were artificially inflating the game, the playtime. I agree with that, and there's a lot of backup because, like, I'll say this: I actually enjoyed the idea that I can kind of go from camouflage, like from stealth, back to balls to the wall, back to stealth because you can turn invisible. So it's a lot of times when I saw a lot, I'd pick off like 6, jump in the middle, take everyone out with my gadgets, then go back invisible and pick off the rest. I kind of like that, but later on they have like anti-camouflage technology or whatever, so I can't do that no more. So that's why I'm like, oh, I really have to fight these niggas with the venom and everything. But it also has a lot of Sony stuff that I just don't like doing. Like, listen, man. How do I put this and not sound kind of contradictory? When Venom made money, let's spin off all Spider-Man's villains and make a universe out of it. Everyone bought Ragnarok. Chill. I don't know if that's true. I have to check the sales. I don't know how. I don't know how it did in sales. I don't know if you know that. Do you have the number on hand? Ultra Slayer. But I'm a person like when I buy a game with a central gameplay mechanic or whatever. That's really what I want to do for the most part. I'm gonna give you an example. Gravity Rush 2 did everything in its power to not let me gravity shift through the air, and it was infuriating. Why did I buy this game to not use the fucking main gimmick of shifting gravity through the air? And every mission and quest, don't shift in the air because you gotta sneak. Why am I sneaking? Why am I stealthing in this game? Like, they do shit like that. And I understand sometimes you want to combine the gameplay with the narrative, and I understand that. But as somebody who doesn't play video games for storytelling, I play it for gameplay. I don't need it. Simi, say what you always say about my narrative-driven games.
Wait, what now? Repeat that.
Say what you always say about narrative-driven games. Just make a.
Just make a goddamn book. Make this shit. Make a novel. Make a short essay. Make a visual novel. Make a graphic novel. Do whatever the hell you want. Just stop making a video game.
Yeah. Like, I don't care about them being these narrative cinematic experiences. To me, that's always icing on the cake, like cherry on top. Like, the game was fun and I like the story and characters. There are some things, franchises that I've been a part of so much that I care about the overall lore and world building and character work, like Zelda. So there are exceptions to the rule to some degree. Like, I want to be engaged narratively, but I've always told you guys the game could start with my pixel dropping from the fucking ceiling, saying, "I need to find my sister." Game starts and I'm just zooping around doing cool shit, I'll have a great time. I don't need anything else. That's just me. And if you're going to force me to engage with your narrative, it needs to be good, or you're just gonna piss me off. I don't like doing shit like walking around like, Miles, can you get the music and put it in the vinyl? Okay, ma. I don't want to do this shit. I don't want to walk around the house, bro. Can I swing through New York, please? Sony loves doing this shit. I don't fucking like it. Credit where credit is due. They made the Mary Jane section in Spider-Man 2 so much better that I'm not gonna complain about it. But fuck, I remember playing that first game having to sneak around as Miles or fucking Mary Jane. I just want to fucking kill myself, bro. I don't want to do this. Please stop. I want to be Spider-Man. But yeah, so I like Sony games. I do like the cinematic aspects, but the problem is Sony becoming very lazy and it's getting repetitive. I mean, the shoulder fucking angle is fucking obnoxious at this point. It's actually one of the things that I laugh when Xbox fans make fun of Sony for that because I'm like, nah, they're right about that shit. Your walk and talk simulators with the camera over your left shoulder. There's a lot of truth to that. But
This shit is ass, man. All of
yeah.
this shit is ass. Even the ones that aren't ass, still ass, bro. If you was ever to tell me to replay Horizon Zero Dawn, I would tell you I would sooner die. I would never play that game again. No, even like it's all of this shit got the same exact and I saw this from miles and miles away after playing Uncharted 4. And that's the entire reason why I made the jump when I finally made the jump to the PC Master Race. Because I said, hold on, ain't no way I got this whole console. I'm waiting for y'all first real big hitter of a first party IP. He had all this good shit last gen. Here come Uncharted 4, and the first 4 chapters of the game is me just watching fucking cutscenes. Stop this shit, man. It's not good. Me and my sister have this conversation all of the time. It's because y'all are trying so hard to make video games come off as movies instead of just being video games that we have this shit today. Where the prospect of playing the game and interactivity is secondary, and what's primary is telling more narrative, more epic narrative. Nobody give a fuck about none of that. And it's even funnier because video games have such a unique way of telling narratives that they have completely shunned it. You can tell your more epic narrative through the gameplay, through the graphics, through the sound. But no, we all literally have to just watch damn near TV episodes worth of cutscenes. For what? And it's not even like it's some freaking mind-blowing freaking this shit gonna be relevant 40 years later on some Kojima pack shit either. Shit is just the same boring shit that you see on TV. I turn on the TV and I see them talking about the same shit. I play my video game to get away from that. They talk about the same shit.
They also talk the same as well. The
Yep.
style of dialogue. Like if you told me that,
It's
try and
homogenized.
try and tell me that the way Aloy talks is like any different than the way Nathan Drake talks.
Exactly.
It's
That is
not.
an amazing point, Glam. Absolutely amazing point.
And
It's
you know, the
style
only
of
reason they
writing
couldn't
too.
do that for God of War is that Kratos couldn't do it because it was out of character. But guess who they got to do it instead? Atreus. Like they had to find the fill-in for it.
That's a good point. And I agree with you,
That's why
Sidney.
people.
Like,
That's why people don't like that Asgard wall section of fucking Ragnarok because he doesn't shut the fuck up the entire time.
Yeah, so it's like it's and and it's not gonna go anywhere until y'all stop buying these games. This is why I hate to derail the podcast. It's supposed to be about capes and cows.
no. Do you think?
Bro, listen. Stop doing this. Oh, well, let me just see. There's nothing to see. I promise you there's nothing to see. Oh, well, I should just try. No. Do not buy the video game. It is that same stupid mindset of, oh, well, I should just see it. It look kind of cool, so I'll buy it. But you're still getting what you freaking fed. Dumbass. Do not buy it. Period. Not no let me see. Let me wait till it's no. Do not buy it. Stop buying these games. Until y'all stop buying these games, they're not gonna stop. And Sony see that. Oh well, I come out my over the shoulder freaking walking simulator, walk and talk bullshit. It is gonna guarantee me at least 5 million copies. So let me keep doing it.
Yep.
Like
Playing.
anybody, and
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, I am 101% elitist, but
Good.
when anybody who has grown up outside of this era will take one look at this bullshit and be like, okay, I might like one or two of these games, but other than that, I'm not doing this. Anybody. I would eat even people who grew up playing PlayStation 3 games. It's just people who grew up playing PS4 games or just started getting into video games with this era of PS4 games think that this shit is okay. Anybody else, they will say the same exact shit that I'm saying right now. This shit is over fucking saturated. It's boring. It's all the fucking same thing, and folk are tired of it. And eventually, the counterculture is gonna happen, and then the fucking pendulum is gonna swing. But it's just nasty business, man. It's just nasty business. Fuck The Last of Us. Fuck Neil Druckmann. Fuck all that bullshit.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
The people that buy the people that buy, I'll put it like this in a nice little bow to bring it back to our topic. The people that buy Sony games are the same people that like the MCU.
I can see it.
They talk the exact same way.
They
in
make the
all
exact same.
games.
They're always quipping. It's always
Yeah.
snarky like dialogue. Like they fly now. They fly now.
I know.
I've actually heard them make that like do something similar in these. So, but say playing more games playing more games other than maybe realize the Sony cinematic problems on playing Armored Core 6. I don't give a shit about the story. I have the freedom to play with my Gundam and kill other Gundams. It's no bullshit talking repetitively or cutscenes
Can
after
I just make a
cutscenes.
point here for that though, Naya?
Yeah,
That Armored Core game got a better story than like 90% of those Sony games, by the way.
I believe it.
That shit is like actually thought provoking. It has actual interesting philosophical discussion about it. Like, and there's an interesting upfront narrative that's happening too. Like that shit fucking clears a lot of Sony games, at least in my opinion. I'm not even saying that it's a grandiose story or that it's like the highest quality shit of all time, but it's better than that stuff.
Yeah. These games aren't worth the money other than Sony. Hey, Naya, what's with the notification message? Oh, didn't I change it to Naya jump off a cliff, something like that? I don't know.
Yes, you did.
I thought it was
Yes,
funny.
you did.
Should I change it again? Is that too morbid? Is that too dark? Should I change it? I don't
Too
know. I'll
much of a
change
suicide note
it.
style on it.
Yeah, Gold Plus does good. He's getting worth the money. He's right. Ghost of Tsushima is the best Sony game in my opinion, but that game has the same
I
shit
agree.
and problems other than Sony games. Not anymore. Not anymore. Fuck MCU. I jumped off the cliff because I wanted the sweet embrace of death. Spit. I don't understand the story you fuck lamb spit in. Yeah, the dialogue has become so predictable. Yet you could predict the lines. I say Jakes. I say Jakes. I say jokes before they do. Sometimes that's how unoriginal they are. But here's actually you guys brought up something that I want to bring up because it's actually an interesting video that I saw the other day. I didn't watch the video because I thought the guy was like very boring to listen to. I wasn't visually entertained. But do you think that a lot of these games are trying to make these cinematic, narrative-driven spectacles to be respected as a medium, the same way cinema and film are, or like a book is? Not like a
You know
comic
what
book,
I think the
like a book.
Yes.
perfect way to answer that is? Look at the way that the Game Awards is structured now.
Mhm.
And then I think your answer is very clearly yes.
That's actually
Oh
part
my
of the reason I
God,
was saying it.
I am
Bringing
about
celebrities,
to,
bringing Anthony Mackie. Like, yeah, okay, go ahead,
bro.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Hey,
I
Go
am
ahead, Sammy.
about to ultimately piggyback off a freaking glance back and hit the fucking 360 over between my legs dunk.
And I'll
Oh
also
my
say,
God.
look at the reaction from people that play video games, even ones that like Sony games, like people that like YouTubers, contributors. Look at the reaction that they all had to that Game Award. And what did they say? Where are the games? Where are the people that are in the industry talking about it? Like that type of shit. Go ahead, Sammy.
Bro.
I just
Oh my God, about to hit the freaking Danganronpa 2.
Obi and Shaq, oop,
Yeah.
I got the oop towards him. Just fucking dunk that bitch right now, Sammy.
it's my
Listen,
turn to unleash. Skip Bayless.
I
It's
consent
my
with this.
turn.
Me and my sister have this conversation all the time. It is strictly because they are trying to make games come off as movies and come off as art. Even though video games have been art since their inception, they're trying to really push this narrative of I really hate to say that fucking phrase because them weirdos ran off with it, but they really trying to push this narrative that video games are high art, that they're not just lazy distractions for kids to play, that they're intellectual form of entertainment, and it's greatly affected the entire business. It also is because this is what happens when you try to cater to people who have no type of skills, no type of reflex, critical thinking, or hand-eye coordination. You try to make games geared and tailored for them. This is what we get. Everything. Because my sister said it perfectly. It goes down even to the trailers of video games. If you take a look at trailers for AAA games or just or AAA games or games made by really big studios or games that are trying to emulate that feel, even the trailers themselves are exactly the same. It don't matter what type of game it is. It could be a beat 'em up, a third person shooter, a first person shooter. Start off with a blank screen. You hear a character narrating. Then it pans out to like the world or some of the locales that you could go on. It shows different cutscenes with characters talking. The gameplay that you see is a max of 3 to 12 seconds of running, jumping, and an
Crouching.
explosion.
Yep.
And then it
Being
cuts to
stealthy for a
black
lot of
again.
it.
Yeah, it cuts black to a second and cuts black, then back to characters interacting, and then like a shot of the protagonist's face, and then title. They all try to come off like movies, every single last one of them, and it is down to the trailers themselves.
I'll use this Game Awards as an example too. For me and Naya both watched it, and we said this while we were watching it, and I bet Simi had the same exact take. You could not tell us how 90% of the game trailers we saw were any different from the ones we had already watched in the show. They all looked, felt, and sounded the exact fucking same. Some Star Wars knockoff Mickey Mouse sci-fi shooter shit that was probably going to be third person over the shoulder or first person.
I was
the
convinced I
biggest-
saw the same game like 4 times.
I wish I was them. I'm so sorry I was there because the show that I went to was ass too. I wanted to be, but this is the piggyback that I wanted to do. A couple years ago, there was a segment in the Video Game Awards where Kiwi would highlight and essentially give a Hall of Fame award to, or I should say, as a lifetime award to a critically acclaimed developer. The segment I specifically remember, the iteration I specifically remember, is when he gave this lifetime award to Westwood Interactive. Westwood Interactive is the company who came out with Command and Conquer. There was an entire segment dedicated to giving a lifetime award to legendary Hall of Fame developers. Where is that now? You don't see that now.
We need our Grubhub sponsorships instead.
Every comment on the internet was highlight the developers. Listen, this is going to sound very mean-spirited, but it needs to be said. Voice actors don't mean shit. They are not the developers. They did not create the video game. Stop highlighting them. Highlight the fucking nerds with the glasses sitting down in the office, spending hours upon hours on the keyboard with carpal tunnel on both their arms on the keyboard, developing the game, Q&A testing the game,
or at the bare minimum,
creating the mechanics, all of that. I don't care about who composed the game's music. I don't care about what celebrity that you got to voice act said character. None of that is important. What is important is the actual individuals, the actual men, women, and non-binary folk who developed the game, who coded the game. The entire Video Game Award had nothing to do with that. And that's why people was pissed off. Because why are we highlighting everybody besides the actual folk who made the video game?
Especially in a year where Baldur's Gate 3 really showed like what time, care, and like preparation and game development could show and really do, but in like every aspect that the game had released in particular. And then it was just drowned out by, Simu Liu with his fucking cast, having to see fucking Kojima with Jordan Peele on the goddamn fucking stage talking about his next Mickey Mouse quote unquote experience, which is still just gonna be a game. And and fucking Captain America, Falcon, I can't remember, Anthony Mackie talking shit to the audience for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
highlight the developers. The best presenter there was Ed Boon, and he was there for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, so
at least with Timothy Chalamet, he shouted out the fact that he sold like controllers and shit. But that was like it. Matthew McConaughey had more time on screen than these guys, man.
Coach, well, listen, I don't. Yes, because Gojo Daddy just asked, why is Kojima guy so popular? Who is he?
Metal Gear. Yeah.
Well, you see, first of all, I want to start by saying that I'm not a Kojima hater. I'm still actually a very big fan of Kojima, and I'm a person who thoroughly believes in one of the biggest things that is missing from the video game industry today are those big um what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Big personalities or developers who make a certain type of game. See, back in the day, we had a lot of them, right? You had freaking Kojima, you had
Ed
freaking
Boon.
you had Suda 51, you have Yoko Taro, you have all of these guys who came out with games, game directors essentially, right? You had Keiji Inafune, all of these guys who came out with games that were really popular and even created their own subgenre. But essentially, Kojima is popular because he is a developer and director who came out with one of the most popular stealth action games of all time called Metal Gear. Not only did Metal Gear push graphics, console graphics to the next level, but it had a narrative, story, and characters and themes that was not really present in other games.
Mhm.
Right? The things that Metal Gear tackles across his entire lifespan are problems that you see in real life in today's age. And Metal Gear 1 came out in like 1980 something. Or it's like
That
you
one,
know,
that
no, it's
one
like
1990
speech,
1990
that one
something.
codex speech when they're talking about misinformation and Triton, like it's like literally a very very real
Yeah.
representation of the information war that we go through now in this digital age. Like, and this
Yeah.
game came
Metal
out
Gear 1,
so
2, and
long ago,
3.
and it
Yeah.
completely predicted the internet age that we're in right currently. Go ahead.
Metal Gear 1, 2, and 3 was some special shit. That's like that undeniable, and Kojima deserves all the. This is just an off-topic thing. He deserves all the credit in the world for that, and deserves to have a platform that he does. It's just now it's starting to become he. It seems, at least to me, Simi, that he has succumbed to the artsy fartsy side of the industry that you detest. That's what I have seen so far.
I mean, I don't know about his latest thing, right?
Like Death
But I
Stranding
feel
and
like at least in Death Stranding's case, I feel like I'll be one of the people who actually like the game because I understand that it's literally just a Death Stranding is literally just a 3D physics puzzler
yeah,
with light third person shooter mechanics, but and I like puzzle games, but like I like Kojima's other games too. Like Zone of the Enders is one of my favorite mecha games, especially Zone of the Enders 2. I think that
Okay.
game is absolutely phenomenal. I still think it has the best mecha combat in a video game that I've played. Of course, my mecha video game prowess and knowledge is very limited, but I actually like Kojima's other games too. And I want to play his first game, the visual novel Snatcher, on the PC 88, I think it was. But regardless, um yeah, I like his other games too. So I mean, I don't know what the fuck his latest thing is. PT was cool as well, and I also really liked he had a thread on what makes a video game versus a movie different, and how those two interact with the viewer, and how and he was when he was describing how he made or his thought process in making the PT playable teaser. But I mean, I don't know if it's still around. Might be able to find it. But yeah, that's who Kojima is. And but to roll it back, just to roll it back, the Video Game Awards had a segment that was dedicated to giving a lifetime award to a developer. Now that's completely gone to the wayside, where the actual awards are speed gun machine rapid fire to you four at a time, and then you're looking at some orchestra play some bullshit. Bro, we don't care about none of that.
Oh man, that's sorry. It's
yeah,
reminded me of a
Spider
funny thing.
Man.
So no, that's all very well said. And part of the
Yeah.
big reason that I brought it up, like you said, some stuff in the Game Awards, like it looks like, you know what it really looks like to me? You ever see somebody who's kind of begging for a seat at the table, like metaphorically speaking?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like the video game industry is trying to do to me.
Yes.
Hollywood and those whatever elitists and types, they're never going to see video games as like as artsy fartsy, great cinematic, whatever. The way that they do a great regular novel or nonfiction book and like a movie. And I think the video game community just needs to be okay with that and be in your own niche, build your own table, and all the people that come be grateful for those that show up to the table and sit down and have a seat. You know, like that's how I see it. The same like even take like the adult industry stuff. Like that's not mainstream. Like they're in their own niche over there. Like you can't have that on regular TV. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do it now with our progressive ass society and blah 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 whoop de whoop sex work. Yeah, but they're in their own niche. Like you have to be okay with that. And I think video games is another thing like that. And them trying to become more like movies is it's not the wave in my opinion. But that was well said. I just want to think like I would argue video games have gotten a lot more common, but they're still not cool, and that's okay. Who cares? You like it, play it. Who gives a damn what they think? I've never cared. I still like comic books and whatnot. You think I care what they like it? They want to turn everything into a cinematic universe. I'm not interested. Like, just do you, do your thing. So, all right, Spider-Man 2. Let's be clear about something. I only played this for about 6 hours. If I remember correctly, this is after Craven. I got to the part with Craven stabbing Spider-Man, and then the symbiote goes over him, and I was in symbiote mode and whatnot. So I got to like some of the new gameplay elements, whatever. Then I stopped playing it because I had to go home, and I was hungry. I went home, and I basically watched one of those videos where somebody's like playing the game with all the cutscenes and all the dialogue and all the podcasting, and it was like a 10-hour video, and I watched it because I wasn't gonna play it. I had no interest in playing Spider-Man 2 personally. The only thing I regret maybe not going back to getting to it. I might have wanted to get to the Venom part just to play Venom, but here's my first issue with that game. Craven is strong enough to carry his own video game. You didn't need to add Venom into it. That was unnecessary. It's too muddied. It somewhat reminds me of BVS, where there's just too much going on. Where a little bit of focus would have helped. Cut out Doomsday, make it about Lex, or make it about Doomsday, don't make it about Lex, but don't kind of have both, plus the Justice League, and then Wonder Woman. You know what I'm saying? You're doing too much. Because Sidney Moon's in this game. I don't know if you know that.
Oh yeah, I knew that. I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on. I think Craven is one of Spider-Man's best villains in his role gallery. At least one of my favorites. I'll say that. I actually am a big Scorpion fan. If you don't know this, I like Scorpion. I think he gets disrespected a lot. But anyways,
He got disrespected in that game for sure.
yeah, and I think they did a really good job with Craven, and I think he was good enough for him to be the main villain for this. I don't think you should have added the Venom, and because they added the Venom stuff. And by the way, I want to make it clear, I don't care that it's not Eddie Brock. I don't care that it's Harry. That all of that stuff is fine to me. It's totally okay. My issue is for the first time in my life, I think I watched a Man in the Black Suit or Spider-Man in the Black Suit arc, and I didn't like it. But credit to Yuri, his voice acting was incredible. Like you could hear the escalating aggression as Peter is wearing the suit longer and longer. Like Miles was off this game today. I'm like, oh, whoa, hey, what do you mean?
He reached deep back into the Sasuke bag.
That's what I'm saying.
That.
Like he voice acted his ass off. Like I want to give credit where credit is due. This is, and I really mean this, and maybe I'm forgetting a version of Harry and Peter, but this is the only time in my life I believe them two was best friends. Ever. I can't think of a comic, a show, a movie where I really believe they were best friends. Like you might have done enough where I'll just be like, I'll take it. But more often than not, I'm like, there's no way this rich asshole and you are best friends. Like, you didn't do enough for me to believe it. Their friendship is so wholesome in this game. It's one of the best parts. I really like, Harry coming out and he's like healed and like you guys retracing and how happy MJ is to see him. Like, for the first time, I bought their friendship and I was a fan of it and I wanted to see it thrive. So I want to give credit where credit is due. The movement is way better. The set pieces are awesome. The boss fights are incredible. The spectacle is amazing. Like all of that, really good. And all of those things. Like starting off with the Sandman is crazy. I did see people say that Peter was nerfed. I'm gonna say this. He wasn't nerfed, but I do think they made him look a lot less experienced and incompetent. But Insomniac just does the problem that most people in this world make. In order to prop one thing up, you must pull another thing down. So to make Miles look more competent, they made Peter look a little less competent. It's the same way if you talk about
Spider-Man in
the
general.
Yeah, but if you talk about the GOAT debate in general, like, who's better, Messi or Ronaldo? What do both fans do? They tear one down to prop one up instead of just propping them both up and seeing who has a better resume at the end of the day. It's just a common problem you see nowadays all across the board. So I'm not gonna rip them a new asshole for that, but I do think in order to like make Miles become like the new Spider-Man for the time being and everything, because Peter's gonna focus on being Peter Parker, they they made Peter look a little inept. However, Peter was dealing with a lot of emotional turmoil after May's death and everything, and felt that he kind of failed the city in Spider-Man. So I think his emotional and mental state affected his physical state. I think they did a good enough job making that clear, but I don't think they needed to make it look so, like he got hit by some bullshit where I'm like, bro, Peter, you can't dodge that. You were looking at it. Like, so there's some shit that hit him that I was like, all right, bro, you're doing too much a little bit, but yes. I think the Mary Jane seconds are improved a lot better. It's not an instant fail when you get caught. She can dodge and use her little. They basically said she got chained by silver cable a little bit to like, okay, whatever. That was bullshit, but cool. Um, what else did I like? Yeah, I guess that it. Craven, I like Craven. I thought he was raw. I think it would have been better to see him kill more of the villains on screen to add to his like, I don't like off screening stuff. That was very Oda of you, but he was he was dope. I
Can I
really
just
liked
say
him in
that
this game. Go ahead.
for that Sandman shit, the level of the chokehold that Sam Raimi has on what people think this brother Sandman can do is
Mhm.
getting a little bit ridiculous in my opinion, because he is
Yeah.
not like that. Like, I hate to report people, but Sandman is not capable typically of doing the shit that he did in A, that movie that he was first in, and B, this video game in particular, where they
Mhm.
needed to have a fucking lightning Kamehameha to beat him. Like, what the hell is that? Like,
Um,
Sandman is not built like that.
Simi, I think I spoke to Simi about this a little recently, him and Vince, but it's just one of those things where like when a movie or a
Yeah,
certain character becomes very popular in pop culture, a certain way, that becomes the way they are.
yeah.
Because Tony Stark was not like that to that degree until the 2008 Iron Man movie. And I'm not a Guardians of the Galaxy expert, but did my research to learn that Star Lord was a vengeful ass dude. He's looking
He
for.
was a
He's like, yo,
serious
who killed my
motherfucker.
mom? I want you guys in the
Yeah.
dirt. Like he was not playing around.
Star Lord
Then
did not fuck around back in the
James,
day.
then James Gunn goes, I like '80s music. I crack jokes, and now that's all Star Lord is. That's just how it is. I'm used to it now. So, but I feel you. That's definitely a thing that happens. Um, the Spider-Man 2 reminds me of the Raimi Spider-Man 3 movie. I mean, just this year we had Fallout show, Halo 2 season 2, Last of Us probably season 2 probably
Yeah, like
2025.
dog.
The merger between the two communities is happening more and more. Games will be made just to get a show movie franchise. I could see that. I could see that. He did. I'll be honest, the game did such a good job proving that they're best friends that I have a hard time believing their relationship broke down so fast. That I was building up to that. That's why I can't buy the Venom thing, but we'll get there. I hated that in this game they made too much Peter look like a bum and Miles look like Spider-Man Jesus, Mary Wick. Listen, like I do think some people are overblowing it, but the power scaling was wonky. I could say that for sure. And Peter looked inexperienced more than anything to me, which was my problem. Not that he was weak. I really do think they did a good job of showing that his emotional state, and mental state of what was going on is the reason why he wasn't on his A game, so to speak, because he really needs time to just be Peter Parker. But let's put that to bed for a second. Venom.
I've
Oh, go
oh
ahead.
god. And I was just gonna say I've had the take for a while now that, and this is just in mass media anyway. Mass media loves making Spider-Man limp wristed. Like, Peter holds back all the time to not kill people.
Mhm.
But if you read a comic book, he'll still hit a goon one time and then they'll knock out and not get hurt. Where in everything else, he used to like 3-hit, 2-piece, 4-piece combo a regular guy to make him go down. And I think it's this weird infatuation with really trying to bring Spider-Man down to like the most street of street level when that is
Yeah.
not what he is. Like, the man, there's a reason when he joined the Avengers in 2004, people were like, fucking finally, because he had always belonged there and like every aspect of what he is.
Yep.
But I digress.
No, I agree with you. He's not that type of dude. Like he's gonna be a part of bigger teams and go up and whatever. I mean, he was with the Fantastic Four. What do they call it? The Future Foundation or whatever at the
Future
time or something like
Foundation,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like, yeah, I'm with you on that. Venom. I don't dislike Venom. I can't say that I think when I was younger, Venom appealed to me more. The older I got, the less it like mattered to me. But I like him. I don't have no heat with Eddie Brock, Venom, and anything of the sort. But I don't like how they use. I don't think they did a. I think this is my least favorite version of Venom. Not necessarily from a design standpoint. And the guy who voice acted the black dude, Todd something, can't remember his name. Todd something. I'll look it up in a second. Great job. I love the voice. It's really good. But like Sly said, I cannot buy that their relationship deteriorates so fast. Like a lot of the problem with this game is pacing. It happens too fast. And I think the game did something that I'm not a fan of, but the fact that I'm not sure is a problem. The symbiote, I guess, works differently in this game because I remember it being weak to fire because fire could cause weird type of sound vibrations and stuff too. Do you
I
remember that?
think that was something people were actually bitching about when the game was released because they
Okay,
were
but
talking
in this
about that
version,
it's
it is
not just sound. It's
yeah,
not just sound
yeah,
that's a weakness too.
it's fireproof in this game.
Because Venom fans were not happy with this game, as far
Okay,
as I recall.
true, right? So okay, so I remember that correctly. So it's not just the sounds, right? Venom to me has always been a dark reflection of the parts that Peter suppresses or doesn't try to act on. But it's very much him. And I think because they didn't properly explain the symbiote, is it Null, the symbiote god that wants Venom to take over the world? Is Venom
Man,
just here like because you're screaming and whatnot? Like that was like, what are we doing here? This the symbiote invasion for real, for real? Or is Venom kind of doing his own thing? Like none of that was clear to me. But here's a problem that I'm not sure of. It makes it seem a lot in a lot of scenes to me. It seems like the symbiote just makes you an asshole. But then sometimes I'm like, is it actually playing on his aggression and negative emotions? Like it's very mixed. It's like here, like you can never fully tell, because in any version I've seen, when Peter gets it, it's start. He's already not in the best place. He's maybe mad at MJ or something, and all it does is it feeds on those emotions very slowly, and Peter becomes more and more and more of a dickhead. Like it takes a while. It's not, oh, I wore it for one day. Miles is off his game. He sucks. I could be proud of my mom myself. I'm like, bro, one day? Jesus Christ! Like you did like a 180, like a 180 in a day, bro. And I think it was too fast. It needed more time to like percolate and build up to that moment where people are like, Peter, you're not acting like yourself. Like, what's going on? So I think they dropped the ball there. And like Sly said, when Harry got it back and he was just all like angry at Peter and Peter hugged like Osborn, I'm like, bro, you guys were such good friends. Like, I can't buy that you would turn to this immediately. But here's the next problem. Why call yourself Venom? Why? Why is the name Venom? No, seriously, that matters to me. That's important. She just says we are Venom randomly. I'm like, why? Your job is to heal the world. Now, I had half a mind to think that what was gonna happen. Oh, what was gonna happen was some poisons that exist you use in medical treatment. And because Harry's and his mom's world vision was to save the world and save the world, I thought maybe they're gonna play on the fact that a venom could be something you use in a medical procedure to save someone's life. No, he just decides to like you're stripping all of the legwork, the groundwork to build up what makes Venom cool. And then Venom usually has a problem with Peter because Peter rejects him, and then goes to Eddie because Eddie has hatred for Spider-Man and Peter. If you're not going to do this, you have to find a proper way to supplement it. And they didn't do that, in my opinion. It's just Venom's cool. People like Venom. Market Venom. You want 19 inches of Venom? The joke they kept making. Like, you didn't do him justice. You just put him in the game to put him in the game. And I didn't like that. So again, I think that Craven the Hunter was badass enough and good enough to carry the game by himself. He did kind of beat Spider-Man way too easily though. That was way too easy. That man
Beat
just
all the
caught him,
villains way
stabbed
too
him, kicked
easily.
him, and that nigga was dying. I said, just like that? Oh my god, damn. Okay. I also thought Peter was gonna put the suit right back on. Oh, they ruined one of my they ruined the one moment that I thought like was gonna be a big deal, and that's obviously Miles having to beat the suit off Peter. That wasn't impactful. They did not do enough groundwork for that to make sense because Miles is just like, oh, I know you don't mean it. It's just a suit. Take it off. You're stronger. Like the whole time. And I'm like, this not moving me. Like, this should be a defining moment of a Spider-Man career. Have him to beat the OG Spider-Man who's powered up by a symbiote suit. Nah, you didn't get that impact, bro. This wasn't it. The game has a lot of stuff that's cool about it. I like about it, but ultimately, I think it's a letdown. That's just my opinion. But if y'all like the game, shout out to y'all. You know, swinging's better. Flying through the air was cool. Oh, I didn't like the Mister Negative giving him the anti venom suit either. That was dumb. I thought that was dumb. I didn't like that. They dove into Peter's subconscious, and then Lee just transferred all his powers into him, and now he has anti venom because a piece of the symbiote never really left him. And I was like, okay,
That's not how that works.
it's like okay, like
That is not how that works.
that's one of those things where it's like you see you can't pick and choose when you want the gameplay to match the story, the narrative, and then you know what I'm saying, like you either do it or you don't. Because I could like I was telling Simi with Superman, they're always like, okay, but he can't beat up regular civilians because like he's too strong. And I'm like, it's just a video game. Like I'm not gonna get mad if criminal with gun and mask takes 4 hits to beat. I don't care, right? Um, but you can't like you have to choose one lane or the other lane because I think the reason he got the anti venom suit is just so that he still had the symbiote powers in the game because that became a part of his move set. That's a gameplay thing, not a narrative thing. So, but you want to make me walk and talk, right? And do scripted chase scenes as Mary Jane? What like come on, bro? Like you gotta pick a lane. Don't pick and choose. I don't like that, but yeah, that's already. I mean, I could say more, but I really like think that there's a lot of stuff about the game that's cool and fun with the boss fights and everything. I actually like that Peter took the time to be Peter Parker or whatever, and now Miles is going to be the Spider-Man for a while. And I think they did a good job setting up Green Goblin. I know Green Goblin usually comes earlier in his career, but I like this version of Norman Osborn that is so he's so hurt by the loss of his wife. He'll do anything to keep his son alive. But I thought it was bullshit that he basically came on and he's like, what did you do to my son? Spider Man? The Spider Man ruined my son. I'm like, oh, you forced that. Ew. That was so forced. Oh, God. Here we go. So I'm guessing the next game is going to be Green Goblin oriented or focused. At least maybe he's the first major antagonist because I think Doc Ock will probably be something too. So we'll see how that turns out. But I still think the first Insomniac Spider Man game is the best one they made from top to bottom. That's just me. They need to give Peter more time to falling into the symbiote. Agreed. They should have saved Venom for later or had a one villain, not two. Yep. Miles beat him way too easy. That's Peter with the symbiote. That's what I'm saying. I know naturally because of the spider that Miles was built by, he has more powers and abilities, but that's 9 years into Peter being Spider-Man. I saw him beat the Sinister Six by himself, bro. Like, come on, man. So yeah. Anti Venom design is so trash. 90% of the suits of Spider Man are garbage. I do like Peter taking his time. Being Peter Parker but it does feel forced. I don't think that part necessarily feels forced. I think after everything he's gone through and the fact that he has Miles to help him, I think the oversight is that Miles will just probably go down the same rabbit hole you did. But I think that's why they're introducing Cindy Moon. So Cindy Moon is going to be Silk, and that's the next up and coming Spider Warrior to train, who's gonna basically take Miles' place when Miles is tired of being Spider-Man type B. That's what I say. I hope they don't do the weird sex thing. 'Cause I don't know how she's gonna get her powers if she does, where like she was bitten by the same power and they're like sexually or cosmically attracted to each other. Please don't do that. I don't want that. We don't need that. That was always kind of weird to me. So
Her whole existence is weird to me, but
I don't,
I'm
I,
not even gonna go down that road.
actually want to say this. You know how the whole new I don't agree with this, but I'm not gonna fight against it because I think, you know, like I always talk about Scooby Doo and Ninja Turtles, things go through generations and changes. Anyone could be Spider Man. Anyone could wear the mask. I do not agree with that.
Same.
That has
Thank
never
you.
moved me. You could
Never.
be Spider-Man. You can, bitch. You suck. You cannot be Spider-Man. That's not for everybody. And you have to have the right genetic makeup anyways and all kinds of stuff. Like it's really not true. So this making a Spider-Girl and Silk and Webhead and you and this is I actually
Honest to
don't
God,
like it. It's too much.
I hate it even more because for another reason. To me, it comes across as a way of trying to mimic the dynamic that the Bat family has, and I think it's derivative, cliche, and
I hear
boring.
that. I hear that.
Like, why does Spider-Man need a million sidekicks? That's not the type of character he is.
I agree.
Bruce literally has built-in trauma based around family that involves crime in terms of like parental shit, like actually taking care of his parents. Well, Peter has that with Uncle Ben. It was a like it was a personal notion. It was centered around just him. It wasn't just around my whole legacy as a Parker is like affected by by my uncle's death. With
Mhm.
Bruce, it is because it's in a city where crime is the thing, and their whole family existence is to rectify that to some degree, and the city wouldn't let him. So it's a personal battle for his family against crime. Peter's not that. It's just trying to do his uncle proud. It's not trying to like make a point about the way that the Parker legacy should affect New York or something like that. Like
Yeah.
it's not the same thing.
And there's a lot of heroes in New York anyways.
Way more in New York than there is in fucking Gotham.
Yep.
Gotham is in New York.
Guy Wolf. Oh, Sibby. Oh, oh my god. You see, in the DC universe, Gotham is in Delaware.
It's Baltimore. Chief.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry. Let me catch up to the comments. I don't know, man. Breaking some random jobber's John visiting him later at the hospital to apologize could be a game changer. Base Peter should
They
win
don't
mid
let you
diff.
hit that hard,
Symbiote is
though.
overkill. I don't know if I agree with that, but my problem is that he just didn't look like he had Spider-Man experience. Not that he was weaker or nerf, but again, I'm somewhere in the middle there. Do you think Peter will be back in the next game if he comes? Yes, absolutely. I don't think he's retiring. I think the idea is that like they could both shoulder the weight now. Like, hey, I need a month to be Miles Morales. College is getting hectic. Yo, I got you, Miles. Then like they could switch it up together, solo, blah blah blah. And I think they might add Silk. We'll see. Agreed. I hate that anybody could be Superman or Batman or Spider Man. No, you can't get out of here. Yep. Batman is nowhere near the other two. They need a million sidekicks and different iterations so they can slightly make different stories and make more money and also connect it together. I did see this one scene from a cut character into the Spider Verse that was in the Insomniac Spider Man 2 game. If you collect all the drones or something like that. So yeah. In terms of difficulty, it's much harder to be bats. Oh, probably. Yeah, being Batman is harder because you're human. Well, you're supposed to be. I mean, I'm convinced he's not human. But yeah,
And
man.
Batman has certifiable mental issues.
Yeah,
Spider-Man does not.
he's actually borderline psychopathic, or some people will just say he's a psychopath.
Sociopathic, at the very
Sorry,
least.
there you go. Yeah. But anyways, all right. I want to transition, but yeah. So that's the Spider-Man like little trilogy. So yeah, I like the first one a lot. I think the Miles Morales game is dick on the ground. The Spider-Man 2 game is like it's got some issues. It's got a lot of issues, but I liked it. I think it's better overall than the Miles mid cool DLC expansion, whatever you want to
It's
call it.
just a standalone expansion. You're
No,
so
it's
annoying.
not. No, it's not. That's not a. You are not a game.
We are not the
The
same.
same. All right. Um, I'll speed run through the Madam Web thing just because I didn't know it was a thing, but I just saw that like City Sweetie and people were in it, and like it's like supposed to be worse than Morbius. Like, oh man, were you aware of this movie, bro? Like, I did not know this was a thing being made at all until today.
Yeah, I knew. I knew it was a thing.
Oh, it's all just me. I'm really living my own world.
You do.
As far as the Deadpool and Wolverine thing, I don't have too much to say. I'm not a Wolverine guy, nor am I a Deadpool. I actually don't like Deadpool. If you don't know this, I hate Deadpool. I don't think he's funny. Now he will get me to laugh. I hate when like I say someone or something's not funny, and then they catch me laughing, and then they're like, "Oh, you see, like no, like bro, if you throw many things at the wall, something's gonna stick. Like I'm gonna laugh once or twice, but just because you are 2 for 100 doesn't make you funny. You got me twice. What like Deadpool has said shit and I'm gonna laugh, but I just think he's annoying. I want him to shut up. So I'm not a Deadpool guy. Wolverine, I don't really care for like that. So we'll see. I mean, I hope you guys like the movie. I hope you guys enjoy it or whatever, but like I'm not interested. What I did laugh at, because I have no horse in this race, is seeing the She-Hulk fans fight against Deadpool fans. I guess Deadpool made like a fourth wall breaking sexual joke, and they're like, when She-Hulk did it, you guys didn't like it. And I gotta rehash what I said today on YouTube. Just because I like something, just because I like Luffy character archetype, he's loud, he runs around a lot. He's a brain dead ape, and he punch before he think. Doesn't mean I'm going to like it in Series B with Asta, who's loud, punch before he think, blah blah blah. The story is different. The writing is different. The context is different. I don't have to universally like one thing. I could like this version of Hulk and hate that version of Hulk. So the argument itself was stupid because people associate Deadpool with fourth wall breaking crude jokes like that, and his games and stuff are usually rated R. That's what he's known for. So seeing She-Hulk do it doesn't really move people, and that's not a character that's ingratiating himself with a fan base the same way that Deadpool Wade Wilson has fans. So I already know what the real answer is. It's just people who want to do more woman empowerment, blah blah blah, you're a misogynist, sexist, yada yada, talking over and around comic book fans to their fan base to rile up those people so they can be progressive assholes. Then the Deadpool fans are just the opposite, just trying to kind of push like y'all are not even slick with what you're doing. I could see what you're hiding so easily, but I genuinely was laughing at some of the comments that I saw personally. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, um, bro, the Miss Marvel and She-Hulk fans come out of nowhere to defend it. It's kind of funny. Wait, sorry, what? Sorry. Yo, I don't know what's up with Madam Webverse. Any info? I'm going on the 16th to watch it. I only know the old version in the wheelchair from the OG animated species. I know it's from the Spider. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I have no idea. I literally didn't know it was a movie until this morning. I saw it trending. I clicked on it and I saw Sydney Sweeney and said, "Ooh, you look good, girl." I just kind of moved on. So I don't know. I don't know. But no, it's not the old woman. They're all like young and hot. They're not here. But yeah, Madam Web, I know it's like see, and my problem too with comic stuff is like I hate when they expand on stuff and make it worse. Where like they're all connected by a web and then there's a spider god and I hate all that shit. Like none of that moves me. I'm aware of it, but I like pretend it doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. So I think that one of the biggest problems I probably have as a comic book like person at this point is I don't keep up. I stopped caring universally across the board with the big two to the point, and I think this is a decent transition. I had no idea who Lady Hellbender was when I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy. That's a 2015 character. That's pretty new. I'd never heard of her, not once. That's a character that was created with, I guess, Amadeus's Cho, like the Chinese Hulk, whatever his run was. She was
Yeah.
created there. I had never seen this character, the Queen of Seraph 7 and the Master of Creatures or whatever. I never heard of that character. Granted, the Guardians are one of those things that I always say I'm not too familiar with them. So yeah. My first introduction to the Guardians was during Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the Avengers show. Then Rocket Raccoon, or maybe a little before that, but probably was Rocket Raccoon and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. Then I might have did like a very lazy Wikipedia search and then the movies. So yeah. The trailer looks so confusing in my opinion. Why are you watching it? Is my question. Why are you going to see that? That's really like why you're taking time and money out your day to go watch Madam Web? Come on, bro. Pirate that shit if you really want to see it. Yeah, it has 17%. Goddamn, yeah, that sucks. But I'll talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy game. I want to admit that unfortunately I think I might get it and play it myself. Honestly, to be honest, I think I want it. Um, I haven't consumed too much Guardians content. I've read a comic book here or there. I've seen them in some shows and episodes of like your Spider-Mans and Earth's Mightiest Heroes and obviously the movies plus what I saw in MVC, Ultimate MVC. This is easily my favorite thing Guardians of the Galaxy related that I've ever experienced so far. I'm not saying it's the pinnacle, I'm not saying it's the best, I'm not saying whatever cuz I actually like the first James Gunn movie. And I like the third one. I think the second one's awful though, but I like them. But this is the best that I've seen the Guardians, and I thought it was really good. I thought the character work was nice. It was nice seeing them grow. I like the found family gimmick. Um, Gamora and Drax and Mantis were more in line with how I know them. And yeah, and I like that like a lot of the spacey stuff in Marvel was explained properly with like having like a universal translator implant and things of that nature instead of them just like understanding things and everyone speaks English. Like they're not speaking English. Everyone's speaking in their mother tongue, but your translator translates it to what you can understand. And because Groot is a Flora Colossus and their race is gone, that's a rare language pack to have. So only Rocket could understand him because Rocket legitimately can speak it after being a partner with him for like 10 years. I think those type of things work a lot better. So yeah. um I didn't even know this game was a thing. Like I ended up like knowing about it because I was just kind of as I was writing my script, I was seeing trailers and stuff and people talking about the best Marvel game you skipped because no one played the other Marvel game. Now, Simi, you said you kind of played it, I
Yes.
think you played a bit of it, and you couldn't because it did everything it could to not let you fight. But like, yeah, go into that.
Yeah, Marvel Avengers, right? So
Yeah.
like, oh my god. Yeah, so essentially, actually, I'll just shotgun everything off since it's 7:41. I pretty much got a freaking leave after this to worry about my own group of people. But no, Marvel's Avengers is actually as bad as people made it out to be because essentially, boiled down to its purest form, it's just a fucking 3D beat 'em up. That's it. It's just a 3D beat 'em up. That's it. You play as characters and you beat shit up with a third person camera. That's it. Boy, howdy. First of all, you turn the game on, and I don't know what the fuck is going on with the menu. Whatever happened to new game, continue, options, exit? It's all type of shit on there. Same exact thing when I freaking one day put fucking FIFA, like, whatever the fuck, on, and I'm like, bro, what happened to exhibition? What is all of this? I can't even navigate the menus. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. All type of skin and season and buy this, buy. I'm like, bro, what happened to start game? But anyways, so the menus itself is already highly confusing. And then Jesus Christ, the game. If you thought, if you thought freaking Sony's walk and talk was bad, this was really fucking bad. No, you got these freaking, you have
Kamala
start
Khan,
off. Oh, we you start off a
Marvel.
little tutorial where you get to play as every single character to see how their gameplay differ, right? Then we gotta show you where it all began. Here you go. You gotta go to some fucking fair, some Avengers fair convention, whatever the fuck. You walking around, interacting with freaking the different exhibits and shit. I said, Jesus Christ Almighty, help me. It's just exposition upon exposition upon exposition. Why couldn't all this happen in a fucking cutscene, dog? Why am I walking around as a child looking at fucking eh, looking at shit at a fucking convention? Why am I not punching shit? And even after that, then you gotta do a shitty ass stealth section in fucking
New York.
Central Park. Oh
Yeah.
my god almighty. Then you gotta go in the sewer. Oh my god. I finally gave up the ghost. Where you find whoever you find fucking Bruce Banner in like the fucking the middle of the fucking desert or whatever
Woods.
the fuck.
Yeah.
And then you go in the fucking you going underground and shit and the little layer, whatever the hell. That's when I finally gave up the ghost. Because not only did it have me running around looking for shit to fucking disable or whatever the fuck. But every single time you did your objective, here's more cutscenes. Here's more walk and talk. And I'm like, oh my god almighty. All this game is a beat 'em up. So essentially, think about the Arkham games, right? What are the Arkham games? They're fucking beat 'em ups with puzzles.
Actually,
So think of
it's a
that.
cinematic experience with a narrative. Okay, okay.
So think of that without the puzzles, without the freaking freedom of movement because it's highly linear. It's highly linear, which is necessarily not a bad thing. Do not Do not
Yes.
mistake me saying that as a criticism. I do not have a problem with
Open
linear
world
games.
merchant Simi over here. Yeah.
Secretly, that's
But
me.
you're not even free to beat up enemies because they'll throw one wave of enemies at you and it's right back to fucking walking and talking. And it's like, Jesus Christ, I can't do this. I just can't do it. I just couldn't do it. I just took the game off. Took the game off. I don't care about the seasons. I don't care about these skins. I don't care about none of that bullshit,
You want to
man.
play as Unga
Just let
Bunga
me.
Cat, bro? This guy just want to play as Inga Dinga with Scarlet Widow. Whoops, Black Widow.
Scarlet Widow.
Just let me punch it and experience the story.
You
Now
don't even
again,
but when you do punch things in that game, it's not raw either. That's the other
it's the
problem.
most bread and butter, vanilla, light attack, heavy attack shit ever.
That limp wristed shit that I said earlier for Spider-Man. Now imagine they do that for characters like Thor and Hulk.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it definitely looks weird, but I could remove that in my head, or at least like if I'm doing it, I'm making him fight at least like parademons or something. If it was like like a Superman, like or at least a parademon, maybe
here talking like, yeah, bro, fight Taskmaster's goons and like
nah, because Thor's throwing that hammer, and I'm like, bro, that would have knocked this guy out 8 times over. But anyway, keep
And
going, Simi.
funny enough, I didn't even think that the story was bad because I don't know some of these guys' fucking origin stories and shit.
Mhm.
Because I'm not my knowledge on capes and cows is very 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 limited. So I don't even necessarily think that the story was bad. It's just that the way that the game is presenting me the story. And on top of that, it's a video game. I want to play it. I don't want to watch it. And the gameplay to watching ratio was just too skewed for me. I said I can't do it. I can't do it. The shit is like over 100 gigabytes. The shit is like 12 hours long with only 3 hours of gameplay, and the rest is watch. I said, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I just can't do it. So I cut that shit off. I never look back.
See that I'm happy I watched the cutscenes for because I'm with you. It's for me honestly. Glam is a very basic Marvel story. I had nothing.
yeah,
It was nothing crazy, nothing bad. I'm like Modoc origin, humans,
yeah.
Terrigen Mist. Yeah, okay. Like that's all it is.
Game. It was a bunch of like fucking
Like
uh
I wasn't moved. I wasn't unmoved. I was like, that's a very Marvel story. And then I just kind
two,
of moved on.
two episodes of Earth Mightiest Heroes about AIM was better than that entire game.
I agree.
It's like
But let me just quickly say all this before I leave out. So Yeti will probably get to talking about wanting a Superman game and also getting to talking about
Uh,
why there aren't
Absolutely.
any superhero games being made in general. And I just want to say real quick that they just got lazy because when you think about it, there used to be a lot. And I mean a lot of superhero games. Just think about the superhero games that came out during the 16-bit era. You had freaking Marvel superheroes in War of the Gems. You had X-Men, Mutant Apocalypse. You had Spider-Man and Venom, Maximum Carnage. You had
Love that
Spider-Man and
game.
X-Men and Arcade's Revenge. You had Captain America and the Avengers. You had Wolverine, Adamantium Rage. You had the Death and Return of Superman. Like you had the Incredible Hulk. You had a lot of games just on the 16-bit era. And it didn't really slow down either during the second step in the third generation in 3D graphics, which is that is the fourth, fifth generation. I always forget my numbers. One day I will get them right. But essentially, PS2, GameCube, and the Xbox. Right? You had X-Men Legends 1 and 2. You had Ultimate Alliance 1. You had Batman Rise of Sin 2. You had freaking Superman 64. You had Batman Begins. You had Fantastic Four had their own game. Captain America had his own game. Right? There used to be a lot. How could I forget? Incredible. Hulk Ultimate Destruction. There used to be a lot, and I mean a lot of superhero games. Not only with original stories, but tie-ins to whatever movie or whatever the fuck came out. Watchmen, The End Is Nigh, so on and so forth. There used to be a lot of superhero games, but just for whatever reason, and I honestly think it's because of the um the success of Arkham
Arkham.
Asylum
Yeah.
that they stopped. But they figure, well, oh well,
Let's
we just
just
gotta
do
make
what
it.
Rocksteady did.
Yeah, we gotta make it. We gotta make it some type of super like movie s like game. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it, right? So it's not like it can't be done, but they just felt like, oh well, if we're gonna make a superhero game, we need to make it. We need to either make it open world or we have to make it some type of movie-esque game where it really makes you feel like insert superhero here instead of just beat 'em ups or more simplistic games, right? So it's highly unfortunate, but Superman is something that could be easily done. I mean, easily done. There are countless games that have flying seamless mechanics. Don't ever let anybody tell you that, oh well, Superman could do too much stuff. It's too hard to make that into one video game. No, it really fucking isn't. There are games that have seamless movement across the board. Even look at fucking Breath of the
Undefeated.
Hunger.
Oh,
You
well,
can do everything in that game. You could drive, you could walk, you could run, you could jump, you could swim, you could fly. There's so many games where you can fly, jump, climb, do all types of shit effortlessly and seamlessly. And on top of that, let's never forget that a bunch of college students, which I believe it was Korean, or no, they might have been Japanese. They might one of the two. I don't want to mix up the two. Made a Superman-esque game just as a project, and it showed just how easy this shit could be done. It's called Undefeated, and they're coming out with a full version soon-ish. But Undefeated's existence 101% proves that you can make a Superman game with accurate gameplay to what he can do.
I even seen one in the
Fly,
in the Unreal 5 engine. Was like it was Superman in the colors without the S in his chest, and he was flying around doing dope shit. And I'm like, look at this man.
yeah, like fly, freaking climb, break shit, pick up shit, bro. Just the simple fact that Hulk Ultimate Destruction and fucking Prototype, because made by the same developers, Pandemic, exists shows you that everything that Superman could do is already in video games.
You're gonna give him a
Pick
gun,
up
bro.
shit, throw shit,
Looter shooter.
fucking.
You can have a gun, Kryptonian gun. Oh God.
Lord Jesus Christ, help us all. Imagine.
Where are your Rao martial arts?
So it's they're just lazy. At the end of the day, they're just lazy. Or they're two things. They're lazy and they don't see the money in it. Because even mods, bro, there have been Superman mods in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas that's an accurate description of Superman's abilities of flight and super speed. So it's like it this has been shown that we can do this since like 2007. They're just super fucking lazy. One day, I hope that we can do it. And by we, I do not mean a AAA studio because clearly and very obviously, they do
It
not
means
have the facilities
me.
for that anymore.
I'll do it. I'm right here.
I'll code.
I didn't say that.
Shade, shade. But yeah, it's
I will
doable.
handle
It
all the
can be
writing
done.
and supervision.
It it can be done. You could go about numerous ways. You could have him. It could be an origin story, so he just starting out, or you could have freaking skill tree. You could have no skill tree. You could do whatever the hell you want with it.
You know
So
what's
it's not that it's impossible.
I'll
They just
also point out that the bitching about his powers are two broken things, so like you can't like have it simulate on like planet Earth because of the buildings and all that shit. There's an easy way to fix that. Just put the brother in space. Have him just fly around and like other planets and shit that you don't have to worry about buildings get destroyed because you're not breaking immersion because it's not Metropolis. You could just do some shit like that.
There's a
It's
lot of
very
things they
just not
can
have
do.
it on Earth. Period.
But the only reason why I say not to do that is I would prefer a Green Lantern space cop game. I don't mind if Clark goes off world,
I'm
but
saying why not both? That's just
what
me.
I mean that's fine. I'm not.
Yeah.
My point is I wouldn't want to go there with the first Superman game. I want it to at least be like the
Yeah.
second one. I wouldn't want to go there immediately. I want to stay on Earth first. That's just me though. Like I would probably at this point Smallville a little bit. Maybe just start him with super strength and super speed and invulnerability, and then let him get stuff as the game goes on. We'll see. But again, or you can just have the enemy that he has to deal with be someone who's like formidable, and all of their like nigga, Injustice get him a super pill. Like just you could do something that stupid. Like you don't have to. It's like you're making this way more
Yeah.
complicated than you need to be. Just make a good video game, and Superman is the main character. That's how. That's all I keep saying. That's all you have to do.
Simi, did you have anything to say about the Guardians thing as well? Because I think
Oh, I mean, only thing was that I played. It had a demo right before the game came out. Like it was either a demo or a trial or some shit. And I played it, and the gameplay did not move me at all. So I was like, I don't care about this. And then just to find out later, oh my god, this is the greatest freaking superhero game of the modern era. Doing this the best right, and and all that other shit. And I was like, oh, I guess I missed the train. Then Epic gave it for free, so I actually have it on my freaking Epic Games account. I still haven't played it, but I mean, I guess I'll play it one of these days because even now that Yeti said after watching it, he said that the writing is actually good. So I guess I'll give it a second chance. And then there was one more thing I wanted to say.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Was it about
was the thing I
Superman?
wanted to say? Was it about Superman? Fuck.
Guardians,
I can't
Spider
fucking
Man,
remember.
Nigga Man.
I can't shit. I can't fucking remember now. That's so crazy.
Green Lantern.
A Green Lantern game would be cool though. But yeah, no, they're just lazy. They're fucking lazy. Oh, now I remember. If any of y'all looking forward to the Wolverine game, you could probably expect the same quality as Spider-Man 2. And by
Oh,
that, I
also
mean all
Wonder
his
Woman. Don't
problems.
have your heads up ready for that either. That is not going to be good.
My head is down.
Is Insomniac? There's two. There's is a 10% chance that Insomniac will listen and make the Wolverine game more like Spider-Man 1 instead of Spider-Man 2. And there's a 90% chance it's just going to be like Spider-Man 2. So
That
the same
motherfucker
problems he had with
Logan gonna have a grappling hook. I'm calling it now.
So the same problem that you had with Spider-Man 2, you could pretty much expect to have it with Wolverine. You can pretty much about 70% be sure that it's not going to be as bad as Miles Morales expansion, but it's probably going to be more close to Spider-Man 2 instead of Spider-Man 1. Wonder Woman, yeah, just
Already
well,
cooked.
it's made
I
by
just don't get
it's
how
made by
that's easier than a
WB.
Superman game. It's not.
It's not. It's
not
not.
easier.
It's made by Shadow War people, which
yeah, Mordor, right? That's what I was getting at.
it's
So
Monolith.
they at least
Morality
have a
system.
good foundation for a 3D beat 'em up. Now, what they decide to do with it, if they decide to let you not beat shit up, and instead you gotta worry about fucking being a woman, yet being a god at the same time, and all that other bullshit, then yeah, don't look forward to that either. That being said, you know these games are gonna be $70. Don't be surprised when they are. If you have a problem with that, don't buy it.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all from me. I have to get ready for my own fucking stream. Thank you for having me.
I'll throw you the oop in a bit, but we'll do what you gotta do, brother.
Yes,
Thank you for coming
but
through.
Yep.
But yeah, when you play Guardians, I want to know how the gameplay is. That's the one part I wasn't sure. I wasn't 100% sold on, but I wasn't not sold on it. I just like
I'll say from what I saw of it, it did not fill me with feelings of anticipation for it.
yeah, that's like because I'm not mad that you can't play as all of them because like it's one of those things where it's like I get the idea like you're Star Lord, you're the leader, you have to command them to do certain things, but it's just like Drax, lift everything, Rocket, hack thing or go in small hole, Gamora, help me fly up like I don't have fucking space boots. Groot, make bridge with tree. Like bro, just fly over there. So, but I'm complimenting the game on the story and character work more than anything else. That's good. And I
You
like that
don't
they
have a
gave.
problem with the dialogue at all?
Oh no, it's very millennial esque, over chatty
Because I was like,
dialogue.
I can't stand.
But
Star-Lord and
I
Rocket.
already associate that with this team because that's my main
Oh,
introduction to
yeah.
them. So that's for this
Okay, I
for
got
this
you.
group, I actually expect that.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So, but
Yeah.
I'm with you. It was very much like the same problem we have where everything sounds the exact same to some degree, whatever, blah blah blah. But I know Rocket's an asshole and says whatever he wants. I know Drax takes everything super literally. I know Groot says I am Groot. Like it just it was what it was. But in this context, it didn't bother me as much. But I'm with you. It definitely and they're definitely chatty patties. Like the game refuses to let you chill in silence to the point if you could wait 15 minutes and the characters will like start talking about the Thanos War, the Galactic War, and shit like that. For me, it was just nice to see some character like what they did with Mantis in the MCU. I can't stand. It's so unserious to me. So just kind of
Let's
getting
not
to see
forget
Adam Warlock.
either.
Oh God, like so just kind of seeing them being done a little bit better moved me. And one of the problems I have with the Infinity War saga is I had to literally sit down and explain to my friend like I get the time stone and the reality stone is broken, but let me introduce you to the soul stone. Like he didn't get it. Like I was trying to, because they did nothing with the soul stone in MCU, and I'm like, this, in my opinion, is the scariest stone. Though I do think reality and time are right after. But the Soul Stone has its own soul world, gives you dominion over life and death and all kinds of crazy shit. Just soup absorb you in that bitch. Like it's actually busted.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to get him to get that, and I thought this game did a decent job, a little bit showcasing the Soul Stone's power and everything. So yeah. Um, sorry, let me just switch it. The game was
Again,
dead when the
another
actual
episode.
actors were voicing it. I don't believe that was the case. It was a live action model. People don't like the live action. What's it called? Live action, like not live action. Live service. What it's called? Live service. Where like
Yeah.
every once like Destiny, like they add like a little expansion, a new mission. So like people don't like that. Didn't watch Aquaman. I have no interest in it. Did you watch an Aquaman movie at all?
No.
Yeah, I don't
The
care. I
second
didn't
one,
watch.
you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. Then no.
I didn't either. Can't wait for Spider-Man Homeless. What can I say? That's funny. Superman Unrelatable goes crazy. More Green Lantern stuff when it hurt. He's pretty down overrated. I agree. The argument that never made sense is Kratos is a god. He be fighting fodder when he can destroy things. Easily people don't complain about him. Why only Superman? Maybe because Superman is a much more influential figure and whatnot. But that's the point that I make. Like I can turn my brain off for that. Where it's like, yes, I know I'm Thor and I'm fighting a random AIM agent who probably couldn't lift 5 pounds, but this is just for the gameplay stuff. But I don't know. I think there's probably a middle ground you can find. You doing in space? Yes. When the game is great, logic don't matter. Bro, Mantis caught me off guard with the huge back door harder than Gamora. Gamora had a dumpy too. What I like is that Mantis is really good at martial arts, and I've seen her knock out Thor like twice and other really strong people. So I like that she was able to hit Drax in the same pressure point like 10 times to knock him out when he was controlled by the Church of I forgot what they're called. But yeah. But did you watch the scenes for that game? The Marvel Guardians game? What do you think?
I've seen a couple.
Mm,
I wasn't not enough to get a coherent picture of the story. So,
fair enough.
and the dialogue just turns me off, man. Like I can't do it. Like
No,
I cannot do it.
I totally get it. Again, I think the only reason I was totally fine because I guess this is actually what I expect from this group of people, especially since my introduction to them was the MCU version. They're just chatty patties. So
Yeah. Like I'll also say, like I've been introduced to the versions of the team, at least with Star Lord in charge, prior to the MCU version, and I greatly prefer that. There was two iterations beforehand. There was the Annihilation Wave version,
mhm.
and then the Bendis run version. I
Sometimes
prefer
I miss the
both
old Iron Man.
to this.
So I feel you.
Sometimes, all the time,
I don't know.
for me.
I've you know what's a crazy thing too. I should leave too. It's getting late for me to take care. All right, we're wrapping up anyway. So I appreciate you guys coming through. Go sleep and do your thing. Um, MCU has like even in my brain a little bit reprogrammed me to think that Tony Stark is just the smartest dude that's ever existed in the history of Earth. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, you have a specialty as an inventor and scientist. Like this is your
Tech
field,
Man.
right? Yeah,
Yep.
like this is your field. And after you create Jarvis, Jarvis does a lot more of the thinking for you, even though like, give credit, you made the AI and everything, but Jarvis kind of takes control of that and you kind of listen to Jarvis. Because in MCU, nigga creates every suit. He could fight Thanos in space. He figured out how to even get to space easily. Because one thing I liked about in this one is he had to get a suit that could allow him to propel himself into the atmosphere, and he almost didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and okay, we're doing like gamma stuff or whatever. That's kind of Bruce's field. We're doing this. That's your field. And like reminds me of the first time I saw Black Panther, and he comes into Tony Stark's office and he goes, "Do you live in the Stone Age?" And I said, "Bitch, you don't see this floating globe? What do you mean Stone Age? Like that's how advanced the technology T'Challa has is." So,
Mm-hmm.
that was nice. I needed that grounding moment because he discovered time travel and I could use a pin part. Like he could do everything, everything in the MCU,
Yep.
and it's kind of annoying because Iron Man cannot do that. He's actually
Well,
busted in MCU.
they had no Reed Richards at the time, so they're
Hmm.
the next best one he's got.
Yeah. So it was just nice for me. I needed that moment in that game, just all things considered. But yeah, I actually thought Mantis was really funny and really well done as a Celestial Madonna in this. So she could see bunch like multiple timelines kind of at the same time, and she's trying to guide them down the right path to like save the universe. So she'll say things like, "Oh yeah, wait, did I tell you this already? Am I telling you now or am I about to like I actually thought they did a good job with her like weird quirky stuff better than they did in the movies or whatever. But the movie version of Mantis I could never take serious. I really hate the movie version of Mantis.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, even I know you're not an alien, and I'm not super mega exposed to you. I know about the Celestial Madonna. I know you're an Earthling. You fucked a plant, then you got antennas, like stuff like that, stuff like that. So yeah. But all that being said, are you all excited for anything superhero related coming up? Whether it's DC
No,
animated, any games,
no,
Deadpool? Are you a Deadpool guy? Are you a Wolverine guy?
not
Like anything?
anymore. Not anymore.
He used to be
I mean, I'm. Oh, I was, dude. When I was a dumbass kid, my handle was like Deadpool son or some shit. When I was like 10, 11 years old or some shit like that. Like when I was a
Mhm.
fucking idiot. Like, but not anymore. I definitely the industry. I mean, I'm with you. I would love it if the industry just died for a decade. Like just enough. Like I've had
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, I think I just need a break. What's up? What's up? We're good, bro. Yeah, I just think I need like a detox. Like, give me 6 years. Don't make a superhero game, movie. I
Movie.
I I, I want to say comics, but I guess the comic book
I,
industry.
I'll say it. I'll
All
say
right,
it.
fuck it, comic. Just press the yo. The comic book industry is on pandemic time for 6 years. You can't go nowhere. You're on quarantine.
Y'all can make comics. I don't want to see superhero shit at
Okay,
all.
there you go. There you go. Yeah, no superhero comics then. There you go. So like, I think we need a break.
Radiant Black cut it the fuck out already. No, I'm kidding. Y'all are gonna go like whatever.
Yeah, so because it's just a bit of a burnout. But again, credit where credit is due. I really did like the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff that I watched. I thought the Marvel game, from the cutscene story standpoint, the cinematic thing that I watched was about 6 hours long, was a very normal Marvel story in my opinion. Nothing crazy, nothing bad about it. Whatever, whatever.
I think it's
Uh,
like, man, everybody we talk about the stories for the like the gameplay is just mid every time, man.
that's the
I
problem. Like
just
even when
can't.
I'm watching the guy, because I like to watch the versions where like I don't want just literally the cutscenes. If they're
Yeah.
having in-game conversation that's important and that's mid combat, I want to see it. That's why the one that I watched for Guardians was 10 hours as I was typing, because they'll huddle up or whatever. Like the gameplay for that for both of those like the Guardians one, I felt like there was probably more to it than I could really see there, because maybe like it's stressful trying to like run around and have the cooldown, blah blah blah. I don't know, but it was weird to me that he would just fly over regular gaps. But watching like Thor and Iron Man punch people looked so mid. It looked so
Mm-hmm.
ass, bare
It's so mid,
bones,
bro.
like just crazy to me. So I'm very happy I didn't play that. I mean, I was never that interested in it when I saw it. I'm like, I don't know about this. This don't look that good, but like, yeah. Um, I do hope that they the next couple of like, because did you watch the Crisis of Infinite Earth thing that everyone keeps telling me about? I forgot that came out. Like I
No,
didn't watch it yet. I
no,
don't think I want to. I don't think I care.
no. But like you and I have been over this ever since that
Long
fucking Green
Halloween.
Lantern movie
Oh
dropped,
yeah,
or
yeah.
yeah, everything past Long Halloween. It's like, nah, dude. Y'all lost me already,
You made the first Green Lantern animated content I didn't like. I can't believe I came here. I got to this point.
dude.
Everything Green Lantern animated, I fucked with.
Yes.
The canceled show. I love First Flight, Emerald Knights, all of that. Yes. Y'all made Beware My Power mid. I'm like, damn it. Damn
A John Stewart one too.
it.
I want to
Yeah.
play, bro. They'll
Then I
finally give this dude the solo movie, and then
then I
this.
have to see what you guys did to him in Suicide Squad Killer Justice League.
Thank God I don't.
Look at me, convict.
Yeah.
I'm feeling fresh and relaxed. And I'm like, why? Like, I hate millennials, Gen Z writers. They all do the same shit. Like, black people aren't always like that. It's so annoying. Like, why they gotta be like? Why they gotta be niggas? It's so annoying, bro. And I didn't know this, but my friend played the game. So he's like, oh, did you? So the reason that there's two dead shots is that the other dead shot from the Arkham game is from a different Earth.
Oh yeah, that's right, because he is white. Man,
Because oh god. So yeah, just I think the Suicide Squad Killer Justice League game, I never cared, was never gonna love it, but it would have been taken a lot better if you didn't put him in the Arkham universe. The Arkham universe had its own established lore and characters and was associated with a certain level of quality. Though I do think one game is pretty contentious. I would say Origins more than Arkham Knight, but I actually am the Rito who enjoyed Origins more than Arkham Knight. But anyways, I'm not saying it's better. I'm saying I enjoyed it more. But
mm-hmm.
they were used to a certain level of quality, and then you gave them this shit. and then made a lot of people kill people that they respect, especially that version of Batman. I do want to make an amendum. I'm gonna correct something. Sorry. Um, this is not Kevin Conroy's last thing as Batman. I thought it was.
No,
Apparently, he's gonna be in some animated movie or something of the
oh,
sort.
it's
So like,
Crisis on
yeah,
Infinite Earths
posthumous.
actually.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there you go. So I didn't know that. So I didn't want to correct that. 'Cause I think I said that when I went on my initial first rant about it. So apologies for that. I was wrong. I didn't know. But
Either way, but that still doesn't make it any better because both those things stink.
I
So,
just it's just like I don't even care if they're not really dead or it was an alternate universe or a zombie or a bot or something. It's just ass, like just trash. And, like I can't take Harley Quinn, Floyd Lawton, goddamn Captain Boomerang, and no way seriously like that. Like you're not beating nobody worth a damn. You guys stink.
any single one of those Justice League members is soloing them, and it is not hard for them to solo them either.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
Like
what's crazy is that even though Nunway is a demigod, he still gets clapped by these people.
yeah,
It
he's not
doesn't
raw like
matter.
that. Yeah. So what could you really do, man? What could you really do?
How about you
But I
just
want
don't
I
make a
want my
game about
Superman game.
killing the Justice League?
That's but remember when me and you for like kind of first saw, we're like I have no interest in doing that. I'm not playing that.
Yes, exactly. Well, the reason my thing was like, well, yeah, duh, we don't want to kill him. But my thing was like, dude, it's the most immersion breaking nonsense of all time because of who we're using. Like, if I had at the bare minimum Deathstroke and Black Men on this team, okay, maybe, maybe I can see it. It's
That's
either
true.
like
Black Manta, Dark Side,
Bronze Tiger, like
Dark Tiger, Dark Side somehow. Like okay,
Bizarro,
then
like
then then you could cook something. But it's like, bro,
yeah.
I like Harley Quinn, but she's mid. She can't beat nobody. She's not cold.
I
She
don't. I
just
did legit. I don't. People
like
don't understand this, bro. There's legitimately. I don't think there's a single Robin she can even like touch, let alone beat. Like she's not raw. I don't think people understand. Like, she's not raw, bro. She's like it. She's beating up police officers and like maybe trained military soldiers.
and me,
That's it.
regular civilian man. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, she beat him my ass, but like she not for anybody with any level of competence is taking down Harley. And I like her. I people don't understand.
Mhm.
I actually like Harley Quinn. I don't hate her, but it's just like, oh my god, what are we doing?
Like I don't understand why I have such a fixation on having her beat people. So it's like no, she's Catwoman without the hands. That's what she should be if she's by herself. Like it's not. She give her guns. Why are we getting her in melee?
She got a fucking mallet. Like, oh brother, and you're not as unpredictable as the Joker, so this doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like, stop. I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, man. Superhero stuff is just really in a bad place. I think it's been, but I want to show love where I can show love. I still think the first Spider-Man game was good. The Guardians game seems pretty good. I don't know about the gameplay. Couldn't tell you about that. Oh, I want to talk about this real quick. I saw a big controversy of people being really mad about what's his name? He's in a car accident recently. I can't remember, but he has a lot of iconic imagery for Venom and the symbiotes and whatnot, and he wasn't credited in the Marvel, Sony, Insomniac games, but in the Guardians of the Galaxy game for every costume and every tidbit of lore, they actually wrote down the year it came out, the issue it came out, and who was responsible for it. So actually paying homage to those people. I know how things work in DC and Marvel. If I create the Unga Bunga Man, uh, Marvel owns them. I don't own any rights to that character. It's not really like Image
Uh-huh.
Comics, right? But have some fucking respect and just cite your homework. Like it's not even about like legalities or whatever, but like if the first time we ever seen Venom with wings was Glam that did it, and I put it in my game, he's getting here. I'm putting you in the credits, bro. I don't give a fuck. You're gonna be in the credits. And if I have like a trophy what shows it like as a toy or something, your name is going to be there. Like show some fucking professionalism and have some goddamn respect because you didn't make that work up. I don't care that it's not a. I don't care about the legality of it. Just do what's fucking right. But anyways, make a Superman game. Stop being a bitch ass nigga, or let me do it. I'll do it. I'll write it. I know. I already know. I could see it in my brain right now. And the second game is when we go off world because we go into apocalypse in the second one. We're going through apocalypse. We gotta break out, and you gotta break out. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? Fuck the anti-life equation. We beating his ass on apocalypse. So yeah, niggas got on my ass in classes for citing sources. Grown men should be doing the same. I mean, I do it to the degree that I won't even steal somebody's line. I'll say back like I never left. Totally didn't steal that from Brago. Like something like that. Like that's the level of I don't steal. I don't plagiarize. I don't fuck with that shit. Like I really don't. So if I say unga bunga inga dinga, I'll say word to Simi. That's just how I am, though. I guess other people aren't like that. But you got any final words for the people?
Marvel DC, I hope you go bankrupt and let Image take over. There we
Yeah.
go.
That's hey, hey, and me and you haven't even been feeling invincible from the first season, so it's hard. We're just in a bad place. We're not the boys fans either, so
I
like
ain't been
we're
reading
in the
it. I
mud.
haven't been reading shit, man. Like I was just for a long time for the podcast. I was like, Glenn was reading shit. Naya wasn't. Like I was carried. Now we're both cooked. I haven't done shit, man.
Nah, bro. I watched 2 shows and then burned down to watching shit, and now I'm just playing shit. So I'll be done Gravity Circuit. I imagine by next weekend. So by the weekends.
That game
So
good? I hope
yeah,
it's
I
good.
love it. I love it. I
Thank
love it.
God.
I love it. I'm having a blast, bro. Very, very fun.
I
It's one
just
of those
booted up
games where
Helldivers
you get
2.
into the flow motion and you got a flow state and you're just
Mm-hmm.
zooping and whooping and throwing and grappling and oh man.
Oh, I need it, man.
Yeah,
I need like those Mega Man X vibes. I need it.
absolutely. All right, Simi's playing Shadow Hearts. I thought he was playing Legacy of Goku. What happened?
Now you see, he said taking a break from Goku Tachi today.
But all right, see y'all on Thursday. I'm not gonna be around tomorrow. I won't be home. So yeah, y'all be safe. Show Simi some love. He is her.